Understanding tropical diseases, their prevention, and their cure. Please watch the video. Hello viewers, welcome back to Machine Art Channel, and if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. Today on this channel we will be talking about neglected tropical diseases, how to cure and how to prevent them. So when you talk about tropical diseases, what exactly are tropical diseases? Tropical diseases are diseases that are very common with the tropics, that's the tropical areas. These diseases affect the people and animals living in tropical areas. Then what makes the disease neglected? It is neglected simply because there are no medications in the hospitals or in the pharmacies to treat these diseases. That's if you are talking about curative measures. You don't have the medicines to be able to do what? To cure these diseases. Yeah, I'm talking from experience because I worked with an NGO in time past where we moved from different tropical areas to different tropical areas, curing diseases and also trying to prevent them. So, what are some of the tropical diseases? I know some people may say that a disease is a disease. Why should a disease be termed a tropical disease? It is simply because it is people in the tropics that suffer from it, all right? So some of these diseases are diseases like onchocerciasis. Onchocerciasis simply means river blindness. Then we have elephantiasis. Elephantiasis is simply lymphatic filariasis. That's the scientific name. We have soil transmitted ailments. We have schistosomiasis. Schistosomiasis is simply blood urine or bilharziasis. A worm will get into the body and tear through the urinary wall and also affect other organs in the body. Well, soil transmitted ailment is simply having worms in your stomach, and sometimes you see the people carrying these worms expelling it after they have been given some medications. Then we have guinea worm. We have a disease like trachoma. Trachoma is also a disease that affects the eye. It's like the infolding or outfolding of the eye. All right. So we'll be looking at these diseases critically and what you need to do in order to prevent it from spreading or even curing it. Now, let's look at one of the most common disease in the tropical areas. We have onchocerciasis. Onchocerciasis is simply river blindness, like I said. It's a disease that affects the eye. And you get this disease when you are bitten by an infected black fly. So the infected black fly, we pass a worm called the filaria worm into your bloodstream, into your body. The worm will begin to multiply. Once it passes the worm into your body, you become a carrier. You will carry these worms for years. When it multiplies to a level, you begin to develop some symptoms. Some of these symptoms are lesions on the skin. You begin to have lesions on the skin, what we call leopard skin. You see your skin having some sort of riot color, not as a result of bleaching, but as a result of what? As a result of some kind of discoloration, and your skin is going to be rough. Your skin is going to be like that of a lizard. All right. Then little by little, you have knots. Knots is like this little bone you have here. You see that you begin to have knots on some parts of your body, and sometimes these knots will be able to move. Then sometimes you will feel movements in your body. It will be as if a worm, there is something moving in your body. You see some people doing like this. That's because they are carrying the filaria worms. Then little by little, it will go to the eye, affect the eye, and it can lead to blindness. Even though you are able to see like this, your eyeball is like wide open, but you cannot really see anything, or you cannot see clearly. That's because you are having onchocerciasis. So what do you do when you have onchocerciasis? What can cure onchocerciasis is what we call mectizan or ivermectin. Now, you can go to some pharmacies and they tell you that they have mectizan, but the mectizan is not the type that can cure that disease. It's the type that can just help to reduce it. You need to locate an NGO that treats tropical diseases to treat you for free. The treatment is absolutely free. Now, in order to treat this disease and also treat other diseases in your body, or to make the treatment more effective, they combine mectizan, that's ivermectin, with albendazole. Mectizan is given according to your height, while albendazole is per tablet, a person per tablet, or a tablet per person. All right. So they will treat you for a number of years. I know some of you will be looking, wow, I'll be taking medicine for some years. No, you take this medicine once a year, meaning that once you go there and they give you this medicine and you swallow it, you will not take it again until another year. So the treatment can last for up to 10, 12 years and you will be all right. Now, what is the implication of ignoring this disease? The implication is that maybe virtually all the people in the community, the country, neighboring countries, and everywhere that a person carrying the worms will step in will be infected with the worms. Now, since it is transferred by a black fly, for people that like visiting riverine areas, it is good to visit riverine areas, right? These areas that have very fast running water, you see black flies. Areas with plantations and so on and so forth, you see black flies. And you also visit other areas, farming areas, or very dirty areas. You see different types of flies, black, green, and so on and so forth, including house fly that can cause glaucoma, which is also a disease that affects the eye. This is the reason why, if you notice one person or two persons with river blindness in the north, you notice people that go out begging, you will see a matured person with a little child, or a mature child, or a teenager holding the person. Sometimes you see a person with a stick. The stick will serve as what? The direction. The other person will be holding the stick at the front, while the blind person at the back will be holding the stick, and they will go for alms begging sometimes. And some of the people that go for alms begging are also what? Affected with this disease. It is called river blindness. And sometimes you hear them singing songs like Babi Allah, Babi Allah, all of this. You understand? Once you notice this disease, everybody around that environment, everybody around that area, everybody around that vicinity ought to be treated. Now, the treatment will now be like a vaccine, is for preventive measures. All right? In order for you not to come down with this disease or be able to affect another person. Now, how about the other disease, elephantiasis, that can almost cripple everything, even your social life? It will cripple your ability to go out there and make ends meet. We have people that wanted to become professional footballers. Just when they were signed, they developed the symptom of elephantiasis. Their legs started swelling up, and they did what? They could not go and play. We had a clear case during the time that I was working with Microsoft. A person with the disease was signed, guys, for real money, for some cool dollars. Then the person could not go out there and do what? And play, because the person had elephantiasis. Then we have people that operate businesses like restaurants. Elephantiasis, which is lymphatic filariasis, is simply transferred by mosquito bite. When a female anopheles mosquito bites a person with a disease, it will carry the worms called Wuchereria bancroft in its own body and do what? Transfuse this blood into your bloodstream after giving you a sharp bite. You understand? Then you begin to do what? Carry these worms. So when you already have elephantiasis, many people want to stay away from you. They don't want to come and gist with you, thereby your social life being affected. They don't want to purchase things from you because they already know the implication. So when you see one person with lymphatic filariasis in an area, you know that virtually everybody in that area stands the chance of getting affected. So you have to practice what we call deworming. If you practice deworming yourself properly, you will not do what? You will not come down with this disease. Now, if you want to use herbal remedies, you have to be sure that you really know what you're doing. You must know the plants very well. You must know the dosage to administer. Then, if you are doing a combination of plants, you have to understand how plants interact with each other. You don't just do plant combo. You have to understand the science, the taxonomy behind plants. All right. So now, for people with lymphatic filariasis, you can practice deworming yourself with albendazole. If you see a person with elephantiasis, know that you are supposed to be deworming every 3 months. It will help you. Then, if the organizations that treat these diseases come around to do what? To treat you, you don't have to say no. Then, for the person with elephantiasis, that person must look for help. You don't have to pretend. You have to look for help. We have many offices, many NGOs that treat these diseases. We have Microsoft, for instance. We have Jimmy Carter Foundation. Jimmy Carter is a good man. He sponsors free treatment for these diseases in tropical areas. So you can look for a Jimmy Carter Foundation, or you can look for Microsoft and you will get treated with albendazole. The albendazole is so powerful that you need to take just one, and what will happen? Once you take just one, you will be all right. You don't take according to height, like Mectism. All right? So, one of the things you can advise a person living with lymphatic filariasis or elephantiasis to do is to do what? Normally, you're supposed to always have a first aid box. You see this? In this first aid box, you must make sure that you have all the kits in the first aid box. You need to have what? You need to have your cotton wool, you need to have Dettol in it, you need to have spirits, and so on and so forth. You are to help the person or advise the person to be cleaning that wound, to be cleaning that swelling area with what? With Dettol or spirit or Dettol, then wash it up and also clean it with spirit. Then you can advise the person to always raise his or her leg. When the person is to go to bed, you do what? The person should have two pillows. Now, you put the pillow down. As the person puts his head on the pillow, the leg will also be resting on the pillow. Then you also see some people having lymphatic filariasis on their breast. You see one breast being so big than the other. That is what a female anopheles mosquito, a very tiny little thing, can cause to you. Then you also see some people having lymphatic filariasis at their genital area. Once lymphatic filariasis affects the genital area, it will cause you what we call hydrocele. When you have hydrocele, you're going to have an enlarged scrotum, meaning the scrotum could be so big like this that the person will not be able to walk properly. It affects marriages, guys, because many women will not agree to do what? To have their conjugal relationship in marriage the way they are supposed to have, because they will be scared of coming down with any form of disease. Then that's on its own. It's like unsightly, and it terrifies. Hydrocele can be what? Can be treated even as the person is taking albendazole yearly. The hydrocele will be operated so that the fluid will be removed from the sputal sac in order for the person to still have a normal life, for the person to still be able to walk normal. So you see what a tiny little one called Wuchereria bankruptcy can do to life, right? So you know there's a plant called catnip. They use it in doing what? In making mosquito coils. This plant treats a lot of things. You can practice deworming yourself with catnip and even what? And even Lupa aegyptiaca or sponge plant. Then another thing is that always practice deworming with albendazole. If you see anybody with that disease, there is no way you should be pretending, all right? Either you are practicing the warming or you have to ensure that person is taken to the hospital with or without you practicing the warming. You can also call the NGOs and report cases like that. How do you do it? Very simple. Google, go and type mitosat. Then, or you can type contact information of mitosat or contact information of Jimmy Carter Foundation in your country. Then you give them a call and report the case. For guinea worm is a kind of worm that affects the body. Some people will be shouting when guinea worm begins to torture them. It usually creates some kind of perforation, some kind of holes in on the skin. It will create an opening and it will be oozing with what? Whitish fluid. Sometimes you see the guinea worm coming out. And for you to remove it, it's terrible. It's not so easy to remove it. That's why you see some people working with what? With opening that oozes out fluids, whitish fluids. Some people have guinea worm. Then in Nigeria, Jimmy Carter recorded a success. They came out and announced that they have gotten rid of guinea worm in Nigeria. And they say that if you happen to see a guinea worm case, especially in the northern area, you should report to their office that they will pay you. So you see that sometimes reporting a case can get you some reward. Don't keep quiet when you hear this. Then let's talk about schistosomiasis. I have suffered from schisto when I was little. The reason was simple. I loved to swim. So I don't always swim in one river or one swimming pool. Anywhere I go and I see water and I see people swimming when I was little, and I'm with my friends or family, I do what? I swim. Then sometimes as you're swimming, you may go to some other parts of the stream and you do what? You happen to drink water. This water may contain bilharzia worms. You see those worms with red heads? They are the bilharzia worms. They can cause you schistosomiasis. Your stomach will begin to look like a person with kwashiorkor. Then you begin to have blood urine because the worms get into your body, they get into the kidney and they try to tear into the walls of the kidney. That's why you see blood in your urine. Do you know one wonderful news? Do you know that bitter leaf, when used appropriately, can treat schistosomiasis? But what do you use in treating schistosomiasis? You use praziquantel. So you can use the praziquantel in the what? In the pharmacy to treat it. Or you can go and report that case where you see that you are in a riverine area where many people love to swim. Many people pass through the water. Children may drink the water. Or you see that you don't have portable pipe water, or you don't have borehole that is sink deep into the ground and you don't boil the water, you don't filter it, you don't distill it before you drink it as organic water, and you don't have treated water that you buy and drink, you should know that you will be at risk of having what? Schistosomiasis. You understand? And this disease also kills. So when you have a disease like this, you have to go to the pharmacy or you go to the NGO, report the case where you have noticed many cases. They will come to the area and treat the area for over a period of 5 years. Every year they come and give everybody, every eligible person, the tablets to take in order to do what? In order to feel all right. For people with soil transmitted ailments, like is worms. Well, Lymphatic filariasis is treated with albendazole. Schistosomiasis is treated with what? Praziquantel. Soil transmitted ailment is treated with albendazole. So you can practice the worming and you do what? You see some of the ascaris species, some of the tania soliums, some of the earthworms. They're not really earthworms, some of the worms being what? Coming out of your stool. That is the importance of what? Of deworming. So you see, you have to practice deworming. Then you have to practice very good hygiene. Number one, if you are going to be crossing a stream, practice wearing your rain boots. If you're going to the farming is good. Like I love farming activities, right? But practice wearing your rain boots. You don't want to pose any form of risk to yourself. You want to swim, make sure the water is clean. So you can have a pond, you can have a swimming pool, or you can go to a paid swimming pool and do what? And swim. If you are going to be swimming in the river, you have to know the source of the river. If not, the river has tributary, all right? It has collection points and it has flow channel. It flows in some rivers might start flowing from one country to the other, one country to the other. All right. So you have to understand what you are doing. Then you have to do what? You have to stop the habits of a person is eating, you just collect and you start eating. You see a person eating, even when you don't know the person, you start eating. A person just finish eating with a spoon without washing properly. You just carry the spoon or the plate and start eating with it. These are very bad habits. Some people think it's socialization. It is not socialization. It is the socialization. All right, guys, these are some of the examples of tropical diseases. Please ensure to take care of what you are doing. Then you have to do what? You have to stop the habits of a person is eating, you just collect and you start eating. You see a person eating, even when you don't know the person, you start eating. A person just finish eating with a spoon without washing properly. You just carry the spoon or the plate and start eating with it. These are very bad habits. Some people think it's socialization. It is not socialization. It is the socialization. You understand? So you have to take care of yourself in order to do what? To prevent tropical diseases. Then when you have it, you have to take the right medication for it in order to prevent it. For elephantiasis, don't die silently. Look for the organization and get treated. Don't stay with elephantiasis forever. I will be talking about other diseases, and very soon I will be teaching you some herbal remedies you can make in order to do what? Take care of yourself. No matter where you are, no matter how interior, no matter how local, no, even if you don't have roads, motorable roads, you'll be able to do something. Maybe you'll be the person that will pass the message to some of the people, right? So stay with us on this channel. So we wish you good health and